आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियां।
In the debris of disaster, Dr. Naveen Chandra finds hope. Using AI to map landslide aftermaths, creating blueprints for rebuilding smarter, sturdier, and safer.
I'm Dr. Naveen Chandra, working as a scientist B since 2022 in Wadi Institute of Himalayan Geology. My research interest lies in the field of machine learning and landslide hazard assessment. Prior to this, I did my PhD from IIT Roorkee in 2018. And currently I've been focusing on the development of deep learning driven models for mapping landslides across Himalayan region. If I talk about my research area, so technically it is the application of machine learning and deep learning in landslide mapping. So if in simple language, I'll say that given the real-time satellite images, we need to map the landslides in a particular area in the extreme weather conditions, like in Uttarakhand, when we have the torrential rainfall in this region. So it is almost impossible to reach to that location due to the weather scenarios, the blockage due to landslides in Himalayan region. So we need to map the landslide. We need to detect the landslides from the satellite image, so that we can aid and we can support the first responder of that area. So there lies the technical, the basic aim of my research area. So we map the landslides in the image and we help the responder so that we can minimize and reduce the cascading effects in that particular area. If we have, let's say for example, if we have it's been raining in some particular area since from past 3 days. So there must be multiple landslides at multiple locations. So for us, it is tough to reach to that location. So what we can do is, given the real-time data, we can develop some models which can automatically map the landslides in that area. So it will help the first responder, so that we can minimize the cascading effects of the landslide which might have occurred in particular area. So we can support the responder, and we can tell him or her that there might be the landslides, there might be the scenario where in a particular area where the frequency of those landslides could increase. So and the blockage of roads and this thing could happen. So we can support the common people of that particular area. जिस हिसाब से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, तो my work basically lies after the hazard. It is the post hazard assessment basically. So if we talk about the artificial intelligence, so previously what we used to do is we used to map the landslide using the traditional method and using the human based intelligence only. So in the current situation where we need the quick response to mitigate or to minimize the effects, so we have to develop some automated models which can be maybe the machine learning driven, or they can be the deep learning driven as well. So these methods basically respond very quickly using the high resolution data. So we can map the landslide and we can give the very prompt response. However, I'm not saying that the traditional methods are not very fruitful. They are fruitful, but in the real time, in the current scenario where we require the quick response, these methods basically they have some limitations. So we can use the automated mapping and we can support the society and we can help them and we can minimize some effects. Previously, I used to work on detecting the objects from the satellite images, particularly the buildings and the roads. So, my past research experience basically motivated me towards the to expand my research in the hazard assessment, so that I can map, given the post hazard scenario, I can also map the road infrastructure as well as the buildings and the settlements in a particular kind of area. So this was my past research experience, which has been expanded in the development of models for landslide mapping. Moreover, if I talk about my future research, I'll be See, there are there are a number of deep learning driven techniques which has been used in other hazard scenarios as well, let's say for in flood mapping as well. However, in case of landslides, this study and this technique is still exploring, and we need to find the models or the methods which produce the best results and which are fast and accurate as well. In the India, we have been doing excellent, and yes, across the globes, the numerous researchers, they have been working tremendously, and they have been developing models for mapping the landslides. Yes, I think we are giving the uh, high competition to them, and we will be definitely come up with the models which will be globally recognized. I think we are, as of my knowledge is concerned, I think we have been competing with Italy and the China as well. Since past 3 years, I've been publishing, and I've published research papers which focus on landslide mapping using the deep learning driven techniques, and I've published in the journals like Journal of Photogrammetry, Remote Sensing and Geosciences, Journal of Earth System Sciences, and one Q1 journal as well. It is remote sensing. Yes, I'd like to say that yes, this is a technique which we can utilize, and which can be utilized to produce the better results. However, I would say that we as a human being are the best interpreted in the world. So no replacement of that. In current scenario, what we have been doing is we are developing the deep learning driven models which can automate the process of mapping the landslides given the satellite images. So the significance of this study lies in the minimization of the cascading effects, which would in cascading effects of the landslides in particular given area. So there are plenty of deep learning techniques and the models which exist in the current scenario. However, we have to utilize them, we have to optimize them based on the current data sets, the theme of the task, and then we can develop those models, and we can detect the landslides, and we can support the society, and we can support the first responder of that particular area. There have been many conventional methods through which we map the susceptibility of the landslides in particular area. We define the exposure of the landslides in particular type of area. Yes, we can use the advanced method. There are a lot of excellent conventional methods as well. However, with the need of the hour, we can use the recent technical advancement, and we can use the deep learning model to map the vulnerability of the landslides in the particular area. So what we can do is we can define the particular area in, let's say, in 3 classes: very low susceptible, very moderately susceptible, and highly susceptible. So we can support the responder, and we can prepare a landslide susceptibility map using these techniques, and we can also compare these maps with the conventional methods, and then we can come up with some solution, and some optimal solution in fact, to exhibit how the effect of these techniques has been fruitful when we compare those with the conventional methods as well. So we can, for a given particular area, we can prepare a susceptibility map using the artificial intelligence based techniques.
This podcast series on STEM popularization is supported and catalyzed by National Council of Science and Technology, Communication, Government of India. Produced by Media for Community Foundation. Technical support is given by Soumya Mishra.